Hello, hello, hello. Greetings. We have to talk, Big Squad. Let me share this out because some of y'all don't know we are live. Okay. Y'all see my new growth is growing in. Okay. We're getting it done. Don't worry. We're getting our hair done on Saturday. Happy summer solstice, Bay Squad. It looks like I was right about a lot of things. Y'all remember the girls was giving me a hard time? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember the time when we fell in love? Do y'all remember? This is so crazy. There's a lot going on in the month of July and this Cancerian season. And baby, the girls are activated. Please share this video out. We are live. Okay, we're talking about the men's. We talking about the men's today. Okay? It's a man's world. We're definitely talking about the kings. The patriarchy. We gotta talk because a lot of y'all gave me a hard time. I didn't forget. We don't need to, I don't need y'all to say, Bree, you told us so. I just need y'all to share this video because I remember saying I didn't think the prosecution had a strong case. The girls were saying I was victim blaming. I said, hey, I've been in court before. It doesn't sound like they have a lot. And y'all said I was a hater and I don't believe victims and all this other stuff and I'm male-identified and yada yada. The comments is there. The comments is there, Bay Squad. Okay? Hey y'all, hey, blissfully Mimi. Hello. Hey AG. Yes, I am safe. How are y'all doing? Hey Brittany. So we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about Bryan Kohberger and Elon versus our president, the POTUS. Okay? So first things first, I titled this Boys Will Be Boys. Boys will be boys. So first things first, hey Couture Bays, it's your girl Britt Brat going live with We Talk and Bay Squad. We have to talk. Now before we get started, let's like, comment, and subscribe. Tap that notification bell so you can get all the updates and alerts. And remember, opinions are not facts. Everything we say here is allegedly and for entertainment purposes solely. So sit back, relax, sip you some apple juice or my favorite vegan water, and let's get into the mess, shall we? Yes. How you can like this video is by double tapping your screen like this or hitting those three dots right there. Those three dots right there is how you can like this video. That's how you can share this video. This is how you can subscribe to the channel. Down here are the three dots. That's how you can engage with the video. Thank y'all for the engagement. Thank y'all, Bay Squad. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. This is also where you can send a donation. Shout out to the Bays who have been sending me cash apps, who've been sending super chats and super things. I am thankful for y'all. Thank you. Okay, especially in this climate and in this season. That being said, let's get into the mess. Y'all already know we're saving Diddy for last, but we're going to get into Elon versus our president. The boys are fighting. We love a good fight. We love a good fight. Do we not? Do we not? Do we not love a good fight, Bay Squad? Listen, we like to fight like this and not like this, okay? So we're gonna start off with the president. This is what he had to say yesterday.
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put Doge on Elon. You know Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, you know? So I'm going to give that one to Peter. To let Peter start it up. The rest. We got a lot of hostages back. So we're going to talk about that.
So it says, this is what Elon Musk said. Every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their head in shame. And they will also lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. That's what Elon said. Our president said, Elon Musk knew long before he so strongly endorsed me for president that I was strongly against the EV mandate. It is ridiculous and was always a major part of my campaign. Electric cars are fine, but not everyone should be forced to own one. Elon may get more subsidy than any other human being in history. By far, without subsidies, Elon would probably have closed up shop and head back to South Africa. No more rocket launches, satellites, or electric car production. And our country would save a fortune. Perhaps we should have Dodge take a good hard look at this. Big money to be saved. Oh my goodness. Yes, shout out to the king. Let's get Doge in on it. Yes.
Rest. We got a lot of hostages back.
Yes, I'm here for it. I love it. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if Dodge should get on those subsidies for Elon Musk. Put a 2 in the chat if you disagree. Put a 1 in the chat if you're for Dodge going after those subsidies to see where all this major spending is going. Put a 2 in the chat if you're not. Listen, I'm here for Doge going in and clearing up all that major money spending. I'm sure we can reallocate those funds to something better, something more sustainable, because I told y'all I'm never getting an electric vehicle. And when I mean never, I'm never getting one, okay? He was over there cornering the market. He should have did his due diligence. But moving right along, we're going to get into Bryan Kohberger. So a lot of people have been caught up in what has been going on with the Diddy trial, that people have not seen what was happening in Idaho. And I want y'all to hear about this case. I am so intrigued to how the prosecutors allowed for the plea deal to still be there. That's what I want to know. How is it that this man unalived all these beautiful people and he was able to get a plea deal? And for months, he said he didn't do it. Let's get into it.
Here on ABC News Live reports. I'm Alex Brachet in Washington. Right now, we're following news out of Idaho. Bryan Kohberger, accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students in 2022, has accepted a plea deal. ABC News has confirmed that he has agreed to plead guilty to all counts. ABC News Live anchor Kana Whitworth is on the phone with us. She has been following this case from the beginning. And Kana, what details can you share with us about how this deal came together?
Yeah, Alex, I mean, this is simply a stunning turn of events in a case that has gripped this entire nation. Up until today, we were looking at an August 18th trial date with Bryan Kohberger's life on the line. What we know now from families who received a letter is that Bryan Kohberger has accepted a plea deal. In part of this plea deal, the defendant will plead guilty to all counts listed in the indictment. So that is 4 counts of as well as a burglary count as well. He will serve 4 life sentences consecutively with no possibility of parole. And the defendant will waive all rights to appeal this conviction as well. It also sounds like they will be seeking some restitution for families. This is things like money for funeral expenses and, victims' compensation. The next thing that's happening, Alex, is there will be a change of plea hearing, and that is this Wednesday, July the 2nd. And so for some, this may be some finality and some closure. For others, you have to imagine, Alex, there are so many unanswered questions in this case, and I'm sure that there's fear that those questions will remain unanswered. But here we are, after more than 2 years, the one and only suspect in the Idaho college murders case, the man who stood accused of murdering Xana Kernodle, Madison Mogen, Kaylee Gonzalez, and Ethan Chapin. His name is Bryan Kohberger, and he has accepted a plea deal.
Well, and listen, Kana, of all the trials it feels like we've been keeping track of over the last...
This is so sad, and I say that for a plethora of reasons. I don't believe this is his first time doing something like this. I believe they want to romanticize black, not black, but white men as these these men with mental issues who couldn't control themselves, so that way they can spin some type of narrative. He took out 4 people because one of the girls he was fantasizing about did not want to be with his old ass. This is why I said you have to monitor what people are watching, what they're listening to, and this is why we should always put in place preventative measures. He studied them. He harmed one and came back and finished off the other ones. I think the one survivor, the one person who was able to identify him as the Red Drummer, she is traumatized for life. And it's so unfortunate because now he's getting away with it. He's going to live in the Idaho prison system, giving interviews, being talked about, making all this money. And let's not act like these killers care. They just doing it because they're getting off to it. And I believe he got off to it. I don't believe this is his first time. The reason he took that plea deal is because he doesn't want other alleged crimes to be tied to him, and I'm sure they can tie him to him. Where is the FBI? Where is the Department of Homeland Security? Do y'all not care? See, that's why I don't believe in living in the remote areas. In the remote areas, they be having too much going on. Look at all the previous killers in America, and they were all tied to some podunk town. That's where they got their start, and then started to do it outwardly. Like, for him to do that, he's done it before. Mark my words. And again, he probably was over there watching Dahmer on Netflix and said, I'm going to do it too. That's how a lot of these unhinged, unhealed men operate. Let's get on to Diddy. Let's get on to Diddy. And thank y'all for being here today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hey, y'all. Hey. Hey, y'all. Hey, 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 hey. Listen. Baby, I got all this Diddy stuff. Diddy. Let's get into it. Diddy. I told y'all, Bae Squad. I was very clear. Let's get into it. Hold on. It says breaking. Diddy found not guilty of RICO in federal trial. Diddy found not guilty of RICO. See, that was the one I told y'all he was not going to get found guilty of, okay? Diddy was found not guilty on RICO today in the USA versus Sean Combs trial. Note, the 5 federal counts against Diddy are racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking Cassie, transportation of Cassie Ventura and sex workers to engage in prostitution, sex trafficking Jane Doe, and transportation of sex workers to engage in prostitution. The only thing he got hit with was the transportation. He didn't get hit with no trafficking charge, no RICO charges, and I told y'all he was not going to get hit with it. Thank you! Thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Tasha Hayward. Thank you, Tasha Hayward. I told y'all. I said from the start, I'm not one of these people who was emotional. I was reading it. I went into the Pacer. And I read it. I read it like a book. I said, the girls are lying. All of the alleged victims got immunity from lying. All of the alleged victims got immunity from lying. I told y'all, the feds, the Southern District of New York, is not who they say they are. They handled this case sloppily. I said that. They were too busy focused on the sex. They should have been focused on the business. I said it from the start. Because I know how the world views sex workers. Y'all didn't want to listen to me. Put a 3 in the chat if y'all remember when I said that. Put a 4 in the chat if you did not. Put a 3 in the chat if y'all remember when I said it. Put a 4 in the chat if I'm not. I'm not saying he's a good man. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm not saying he didn't do these things. But I told y'all, you have to present beyond a reasonable doubt that he did these things. I said, a RICO? Y'all want to prove a RICO? I told y'all, check the stamps. I said, it seems to me Cassie didn't know his business. He didn't trust her. It seems to me Cassie didn't know his business. He did not trust her. How was she going to help prove a RICO? She was a 10-year girlfriend and didn't know what was going on. I told y'all that. I told y'all that. And then now you got Miss Jane Doe, who's a fool, who admitted publicly she was jealous of Young Miami because Young Miami got the life they wanted. She got the businesses and everything else. And Young Miami told y'all, I said, y'all be calling Young Miami dumb. She wasn't dumb. Young Miami said, listen, you can come over here, but over here, I want to be a boss. I want to be a mogul. I want some motion. I want to be a shark. Them hoes is over there doing it for a Birkin. They over there doing it for an island getaway. They clearly never been lit in real life. And I told y'all that because I can read. It's not just a pretty face over here. I can read. I can read. I see a lot of 3s. I see like 1 or 2 4s, but I see a lot of 3s. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. I've been saying it from the beginning. I've been saying it from the beginning. I said, listen, I believe he was over there doing all kinds of stuff, but the RICO, I don't know. Trafficking, I don't know. They literally have it in black and white that Jane Doe and Cassie are prostitutes. That's literally what it says. And y'all think Alex Fine is a good man? I haven't been wrong a lot of times, okay? I haven't been wrong in a long time. You know, I told y'all, like this video, y'all. I told y'all, let's get into some of this stuff. The girls is mad. The girls is mad. You can't get mad. You can't fight the facts. It says it right here. Diddy found not guilty of sex trafficking of KSC and Jane, but guilty on prostitution counts for both. They are literally calling them prostitutes. They call Cassie a prostitute, Jane Doe a prostitute. They don't care nothing about sex workers in the world. But y'all want us to believe. I don't know why y'all be believing that they called them prostitutes. It's here in the black and white. Here, you see it? You see it? I don't need to hate on nobody. I know what the wording say. I wasn't a child left, okay? It says here, Diddy's attorney, Mark Affilio, has requested that the court release him from federal detention where he's been held for nearly a year. And they're going to let him walk? Because prostitution, light work. Okay, and Filio proposed that he be allowed to return to his home in Miami under specific conditions and offered a $1 million bond for his release because he beat the RICO. They might as well give him that. It says the government informed the judge that Diddy should remain in custody until sentencing. Prosecutor Maureen Comey stated that they will seek a maximum of 20 years. He's not getting 20 years. He's not getting 20 years. He's getting time served. The judge requests that both the defense attorneys and prosecutors submit letters outlining their positions regarding the possibility of Diddy's release. The letters are due by 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and a decision will be made afterwards. I told y'all this. I told y'all that. And this is why we're doing this, because I told y'all, I'm not somebody who's just going to literally just sit up here and be like, oh my God, all women are victims. No. We got to go with the facts. I told y'all, the facts were very shady. She got her money, but baby, the girls is outside acting a fool.
All right, y'all, it is Justin Carter here with Sarah and Tara Wiley. We're outside the courthouse right now, the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. The verdict is in 9:52 this morning. We got that verdict. Count 1, those heavy RICO charges, federal charges against Diddy, not guilty.
And on count 2, which is the sex trafficking of Cassie Ventura, he was also found not guilty.
Not guilty. Count 3, which is the Mann Act, the transportation of a prostitute charge in regards to Cassie Ventura. He was guilty on count 3 of those.
And on count 4, which was the sex trafficking of Jane, he was found not guilty.
Not guilty for Jane. Of course, Jane was his most recent girlfriend. And then the last one, count 5, the transportation of Jane for prostitution, rather. He was found guilty on those charges. So count 3 and 5, he was found guilty. Obviously, we ran down here as soon as we could to deliver this to you guys. Of course, in courtroom, I was in. All right, y'all, it is Justin Carter here with Sarah and Tara Side Court. There was a roar.
And there was an uproar out here as well. Everyone just burst into excitement after hearing that he was not guilty on the RICO charge.
Yes, there was a lot of excitement. There was also 2 men out here that were arguing about it. Some people are, of course, on Diddy's side. Some people not on Diddy's side, but just a mixed bag of emotions for sure. Didn't really get to see Diddy's reaction because we ran so fast to get down here to see you. But obviously, I'm sure he's relieved that those RICO charges didn't stick. You can see here behind us, there's a lot of people waiting for the family and friends to come out. There's possibly a press conference.
See, I told y'all. Diddy's family leaves court. That's what's going on at the court. That is crazy. Cassie's lawyer speaks out after the verdict is announced in the Diddy trial. People said they did not care. They said, girl, you got your money, move on. I told y'all when I saw him out there in the water down in Miami, and TD Jakes was in the hallway prophesizing as that hurricane was coming in, I said, y'all don't listen to nothing, y'all don't pay attention to nothing. All the girls are spiritually aligned until it's time to use their brain. Cassie's lawyer says, statement from Douglas Wigdor. The entire criminal process started when our client Cassie Ventura had the courage to file her civil complaint in November 23. Although the jury did not find Combs guilty of sex trafficking, Cassie beyond a reasonable doubt. She paved the way for a jury to find him guilty of transportation to engage in prostitution. That means they called her a prostitute. By coming forward with her experience, Cassie has left an undeniable mark on both the entertainment industry and the fight for justice. We must repeat with no reservation that we believe and support our client, who showed exemplary courage throughout this trial. She displayed unquestionable strength and brought attention to the realities of powerful men in our orbit and the misconduct that has persisted for decades without repercussion. The case proved that change is long overdue and will continue to fight on behalf of survivors. I don't think this case proved that at all. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't think this case proved that at all, because the trial people literally called her and Jane Doe a prostitute. Diddy coming home to tell the world. That's crazy. I still don't like Diddy, but I think the verdict was fair. I mean, I don't care for the verdict. He escaped the RICO. Baby, that's the charge they want. Do y'all really think they wanted to get him on transportation of prostitutes? They're going to push for the max. Men who pay for sex don't even get the max. If you don't believe me, go check the stats. Men who pay for sex, i.e. prostitution of the ladies of the ninth, who are powerful and elite, don't even get the max. He's not getting the max. I hate to break it to the girls. He's not getting the max. I told y'all from the start, they seemed like they were all over the place. They didn't know what they were doing. Just reading the verbiage, like it seemed the people were heavily coached. I wasn't going off of the feelings of people. If they were like, oh, I can't stand Diddy, da da da, I don't care if you can't stand him. Read your little notes. Read your little notes. That's all I wanted the people. And when the girls started acting like some of the other bloggers, I said no. I'm going straight to the source. When y'all saw that they dropped a lot of the charges, y'all should have known then they did not have a strong case. They rushed to do this case and they really thought Cassie was going to be the saving grace. But guess what happened? The text messages happened. Those text messages happened, and I told y'all, Cassie will either make or break this case. And to me, she broke it. They only got prostitution type teens. He can go home. Zarica would have him in prison for life, and that's what they wanted exactly. That's why the judge is going to let him free, because he knows that the powerful, the elites buy women all the time. They buy men. This is what they sign up for. Cassie was just a pretty high-paid prostitute. Jane Doe, a high-paid prostitute. And while 50 Cent is out here running to Beyonce's internet, the troll, why was your quote-unquote alleged baby mama over there taking DRC for 10 bands and coming home to kiss your son on his forehead while you was pedestalizing her as an amazing mother, as the better woman? You look like a fool. You look stupid. He's actively still paying her rent. You look dumb. You fell in love with a lady of the night, 304. Child, please. Had a baby with her too. She is now on record as a high, not even a high priced, a very low price. How? There's women out here getting more money than Cassie and J Doe. And it's sad. It is sad. This is why I said it all goes down to self-esteem. They were willing participants in doing the drugs. They willingly did these things for just to be next to him. Very weird, very strange. This is why I always say, self-esteem starts at home. Some of you parents need to get some self-esteem, because there's no way somebody can threaten my child with some type of anything, and I put my house up, and then they've been knocking my daughter between the washer and the dryer, and I send her back to be with the demon. Where are y'all fathers? Where is the protection? Where are the mothers? And I kept telling y'all, I said, while y'all are trying to eat up this Cassie is innocent role, y'all are going to be really sad when the trial starts. And guess what happened? It started. And y'all saw the real Cassie. Y'all found out that Cassie was with a very much older Ryan Leslie. Cheated on Ryan Leslie to be with a very much Diddy. They proved that not only was she a liar, she was violent. She was a dope fiend, and she brought to the table the sex. Because Diddy was like, I told y'all, I said I read it. Diddy was like, no, we don't have to do that. We could just chill. She was like, man up. And I told y'all it's going to hurt a lot of y'all hearts, because some of y'all faves came up here building this image. I'm not building an image for anybody. And we have to be very careful. A lot of these women are willing participants in their own mess. Yes. Hey, Juice Talk Radio, this is crazy. This is crazy. But I said it from the start. This is not going to change the music industry. This is not going to change anything. This case right here just showed that Diddy beat the system again. It looks like New York is targeting him. He can have a very strong case to sue. Let's not act like New York doesn't have a history of targeting black men. I told y'all, and I said that if he doesn't go to prison, y'all in trouble. Y'all are in trouble. You conspiracy theorists, in trouble. You fake victims, in trouble. You podcasters, in trouble. Y'all are in trouble. Real trouble. Let me see if AT2 has this thing, because y'all know AT2 has a blog. Shout out to AT2. We are sponsored by the blogs. Sponsored by the blogs. Let me see if I have it. You know, is this it? Here it is.
Came to Gina. So Gina calls me when the indictment comes down, and she's basically asking me to pay her. She said she wants to do a second interview, but I need you to pay me. I said, Gina, you know we don't pay. And then she was like, but I need to be paid. I said, no, we can fly you in. She said, but I can fly myself in. She said, I'll fly myself in. Just pay me. So at that moment, I was like, no, I'm not paying her. And why does she want to be paid? Because she is trying to use that as leverage, in my opinion, to say that everything that she said on my platform that I paid her to say, that it wasn't true, so that they could discredit that interview that the feds were already looking at anyway, because that was full testimony. And so to hear that she disappeared, I'm not shocked, because like I said, she told me personally, the only reason she was sitting down with me was because Diddy cut her off financially. And you gotta understand, these women that, and talking to Gina, like, beautiful girl. I don't like to say, just because a person has a certain job that they may not be intelligent, right? Because I've seen people, servers at Waffle House, and when I was a manager, if a server told me they worked for Waffle House, I wouldn't give a damn if it was a 5-star restaurant. I hired them. Because their memory was a lot sharper than somebody coming in off the street that just wanted to serve or served in other restaurants. They just moved a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? They were just a lot more attentive. They getting coffee, they getting juice, they doing a lot of things. Whereas one server that came from another 5-star restaurant was slow as hell. Just slow. So I don't like to use that, but Gina was probably talking to her intellectually was like watching paint dry.
So you just feel like she didn't have a lot of options.
No, she didn't have a lot of options. She's a beautiful girl, but like, this is, how big does it get? And like they said, Cassie had stated to one of her friends, like, she had quoted, Jay-Z's taken, so where would I go? Who else would I date? Who's bigger than Jay-Z at that point?
See, and that's so sad. And shout out to Tasha K for that. Shout out to Tasha K. Gina was recently caught out in public by TMZ after reports of her going missing. Tasha K clarifies, like many of us knew, Gina was not missing. In fact, after Diddy's indictment, Gina wanted to do another interview. Tasha K believes this was a setup as Gina asked for payment. Tasha declined due to this. However, what was Gina's motive? Was she then going to say Tasha K paid her to say bad things, or was she desperate for the money? Baby, Diddy was paying a lot of these hoes' bills. And I hate to call him that, but that's what it was. A lot of the girls were getting their bills paid. And when I'm talking about the girls, I'm talking about the boys too. When I'm talking about the girls, I'm talking about the boys too. Because, baby, at the end of the day, you cannot build a case on false foundation. You have to have a strong foundation. This is crazy. I told y'all the way they handled this case and not the other cases in the Southern District of New York, it was going to backfire. I said it a lot. And yes, a lot of people are going to go into hiding. And at this point, I don't care, because y'all did so much talking. Y'all are going to have to pay that man. Yes, please get the likes up. Please get the likes up. Okay? Please get the likes up. They are deciding to engage in these acts for pennies on the dollar. Pennies on the dollar. Because I want y'all to know, Jane Doe did it for 10 bands for her rent to be paid. 10 bands. She has allegedly they're saying it's Daffy and Joy. She has a baby with a rapper, a mogul, somebody who's created hit TV shows that generates millions upon millions of dollars. And she had to go over and backhand bounce, touch her toes, flip on the D for a Diddy. Cassie was dating her now husband and still went back to Diddy, because it was getting real poor over there with Alex Fine. It's hard when you settle for a brokey. Reality starts to sit in. she had no business account. A lot of y'all got mad at me because I said that she didn't have it. She still doesn't have it. The moment she filed that lawsuit, she should have had some business dealings. She should have came out with a skincare line, hair, something. Mama is spending the money on plastic surgery. Nothing wrong with it. But let's be very clear. She should have had some hair care, a survivor book, something talking about her experience as somebody who overcame the industry, something. Where's Sloan Bella with her lion wannabe witch ass? Where's she at? Wasn't she the one who said Kim Porter was calling from the grave to help Cassie? Where is Albie Shore? Where is he? Has he vanished like a thief in the night like he did his sons? Just disappeared? Did he go get some milk from the store and never came back? Where is the vigilante Negro, Jacqueline Jaguar Ride? Where is she? Where is our vigilante? Where is the woman who was on the islands and at the white party saving and rescuing the girls and pimping them out all at the same time? Where is she? The Allie Carters, where is she? Where are these people? Where is Gene Dill? Was his big black ass not down there? Mr. I had to sit and watch so many horror stories is giving complicit. Where is he at? Where is he? You out there snatching chains with your broke ass. Where are you? So much insight, so much firsthand knowledge, and yet the Southern District of New York didn't call you. They didn't need you. Wow, that's strange. Bree, what are you saying? They've been lying to y'all. The new grift was Diddy. They're going to have a new grift. Don't worry. They're going to have a new grift in no time. They are going to have a new grift in no time. Ah, child, where's Aubrey? Aubrey, the 20-year victim. Is she going to Bali now? Hey, AT2, how are you doing? Shout out to all the bays. Shout out to all the international and domestic bays. And listen, my moms are not playing with y'all. Get with the program or get left behind. Like this video. I said from the start, I will be fair. And I said from the start, this was a weak case. This was a weak case. I said it. We seen the girls lying. We seen content creators out there fighting. And now you see which content creator was telling the truth. Now you see which content creator was telling the truth. Now y'all see who was at the Diddy trial reporting it right. Oh, you can't make this up. I'm flabbergasted. The gasted was flabber. Do you understand? Y'all was out here lying to your subscribers. Diddy's going down. He's guilty of the RICO, and this is how I know. I was like, what? He's going down? I don't know. You hate women. You're just mad. You're caping for the black man. I was like, Pacer is saying something different. I don't know what they talk about, but over here in Pacer, no good. Them good peoples typing it up. You gotta get it on Pacer. In Pacer, that's not what I was reading. I was like, What? I got a Louisiana education, so I wasn't comprehending what they was comprehending. Maybe it's me. Maybe it was me. I don't know. Oh, them people gonna get fired. This is their second RICO. They failed at. First it was the mayor. Did y'all notice that? First it was the mayor. And on that note, what are y'all thoughts, Space Squad? I feel like a lot of them were mad at Diddy and their hearts were not right. They just wanted him to go down really bad out of anger. Child. And on that note, what are y'all thoughts, Space Squad? What are your opinions? I'm definitely keeping score, baby. We are literally, it's Space Squad 5-1. We only got it wrong one time. 5-1, okay. I had to start reading the cases ever since that Tory Lanez trial. Let me go see. I work with an attorney down here at Instacart in Asia. He be pulling up the pacer all the time. You want to see it? Yes. And I be reading and I'm like, what does this part mean? I wanted them to ask Cassie if she kept doing freak-offs after the relationship ended. Ooh. I'm from the city. Can't understand what you're saying. Ooh. And on that note, child, this has been funny. This has been funny, but this is why I say, you know, you just got to report it right. And on that note, do y'all think they're going to apologize to their subscribers for lying? Do y'all think they're going to apologize to their subscribers for lying? Or are they going to just go on like nothing happened? And on that note, comment down below. I got to go.